Yesterday, during Disney's feature film presentation at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, 20th Century Studios revealed 13 minutes of footage from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Descriptions of the footage have surfaced online, as well as reactions from those in attendance, and I'm here to break it all down. If you like what I do here and want to show your support, be sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all things apes. Enjoy the video. And welcome back to Ape Nation, your number one source for all things Planet of the Apes on YouTube. As always, my name is Josh, and today we're going to take a look at some of the reactions to the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes footage that was debuted at CinemaCon yesterday, as well as descriptions of what was shown. For those who don't know what CinemaCon is, the point of CinemaCon is for studios to show off to movie theater owners what they have in store for them in the coming year. It is not your traditional convention of sorts. It's not like Comic-Con, it's not like WonderCon, it's not one of these things where you buy tickets in advance, anybody can go. It is a buy invite only event, meaning only members of the entertainment and media and film press, people that are film pundits, people that are journalists, people that are critics, certain people in the YouTube film community. Those are the people that went to CinemaCon and got to see this footage, and that is who we are pulling reactions from. What I'm first going to do is just read through all of these reactions that I've pulled off of social media and read them to you and give my general takeaway from all of them. Obviously, they're just other people's opinions on a small snippet of footage, so there's not too much specifically to talk about, but there are certain things that caught my eye that I want to get into, and after that I will read through the actual description of the footage that was shown. So getting to the reactions, first one we're going to start off with is from Jermaine Lucier, who says, saw 13 minutes of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Was all Act 1 stuff with the apes climbing on beautiful vistas, villages being attacked, and lots of burgeoning relationships. I'm very optimistic about that. Next up is from Koi Jandru. Shout out to Koi. I'm a big fan of all of his YouTube stuff. Just watched 13 minutes of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. What powerful, immersive, gobsmackingly beautiful footage. Immediately endeared to these apes, the passion and compassion in every expression and staggering physicality sings. Looks dope. Next up, we have Steven Weintraub, who says, just saw 13 minutes of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and footage was spectacular. Just incredible stuff. Daniel from the Movie Podcast says Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes looks absolutely phenomenal. It will also be the first Apes film released in IMAX. I wasn't sure how that would continue this series, but Westball looks to have cracked it. Wow. Really liking all the reactions so far. I like what everyone's had to say. Next up, we have Brandon Davis, who says Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes looks stunning. Young ape Noah having to avenge his village, incredibly immersive, overgrown world, tremendous performances captured and animated on the apes, and immediate depth and stakes. Looks awesome. Kenzie XCX says, the 13 minutes we saw of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is visually impressive, but I'm just still not convinced this is needed so soon after the emotional triumph Matt Reeves gave us. Don't really understand that, because I don't really understand why 7 years is that soon. It's almost a decade, but glad you enjoyed the footage at least. Next up, we have Jason Garacio, who says, saw 13 minutes of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. As always, the motion capture / CGI footage is flawless, powerful, and action-packed. Fantastic Mr. Christ says, just got to watch 13 minutes of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and oh my god, 10 out of 10. Then we have Jeffrey Harris, who says Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes looks very immersive and epic. This is the world of Planet of the Apes hundreds of years after the viral apocalypse. Then we have Big Gold Belt Media, who says Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is mind-blowing emoji. This is going to be one intense ride. Can't wait to watch the entire film. For the 13 minutes, they chopped scenes and moments, and it still kept you at the edge of your seat. There is so much detail in the visuals. And finally, we have Hunter Bolding, who says Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes footage. We got 13 full minutes of stunning footage for the film. Looks like the beginning of the movie up to where the story really kicks off. This is a truly awesome looking film. Now, while these are generally just very brief, kind of vague-ish impressions, I do like everything I'm reading here. I'm very excited about a lot of the verbiage used. I'm excited to hear about the visuals, which is something that I think some people have critiqued a little bit when it comes to the trailers for this movie, saying that maybe it looks like a bit of a step down when it comes to the visuals, but I personally haven't felt that way. I actually think it's looked as good, if not better, and it sounds like a lot of the people who've actually seen some of the most finished footage agree, so I'm really excited to hear that. And then just hearing that it's emotional, hearing that the setup of the story works really well, hearing that everybody likes Noah so far, all these reactions get me really excited. Even someone who said that they don't really understand why this movie's coming so soon seemed to be impressed by the footage. So overall, I'm liking what we're hearing here. It sounds like we are going to be in for a treat, at least with 13 minutes of footage. You know, for all we know, the rest of the movie could be terrible, but at least 13 minutes of footage of it is going to be great. I'm excited to see a lot of this myself, and it's really encouraging to hear all of this so far. Now I'm going to get into the actual description of what they showed. So just a warning now, this does contain what many might consider a bit of a spoiler. I personally don't mind it so much because it is something that happens in the first act that is not a huge plot twist or reveal or anything. It is just a part of the story that happens early on in the film. But if you don't want to know anything, you can bow out now or fast forward to the end of the video. You have been warned. And this comes from comicbook.com, and they wrote, "The footage starts peacefully, following a bird high above a very green world. Apes are running wild and free, swinging on the overgrown remains of what was once a metal building. But the city is now all trees and rivers. A trio of apes comes upon the nest of bird eggs," I'm assuming this trio is Noah, Anaya, and Suna, "and the older ape reminds them that they have to leave one egg behind as it is the law. We will raise them together like we were raised," one of the apes proclaims. They look around through the leaves with the sun illuminating the entire scene brightly and very green. They come to a gap between the structures, and Noah uses a piece of metal to lunge ahead and lock onto the other structure. Climbing to the top, he finds 4 more eggs in a nest perched high above the structure. As he reaches for it, a bird comes flying in and strikes him with its talons. Noah falls and the concrete crumbles, prompting him to continue to fall without being able to get a grip on anything. Noah eventually slides off the edge and manages to grab a piece of the hanging structure. His friends are terrified, but relief ultimately consumes them when they see their friend has survived. Then the Fox logo takes the screen and scenes start to play out more quickly. Noah's father is waiting for him at the village, and various locations are shown. "There are dangers beyond our village," one ape explained. "A king declares, 'What a wonderful day,'" obviously talking about Proximus Caesar, before his followers. Chaos begins as apes torch Noah's village on horseback. Noah tries to reach his father to save him, but a much bigger enemy ape gets there first. Noah fights the gorilla, but is unsuccessful and falls away from his father to the fiery ground. Noah wakes up to the ash in a sunny gray scene. He stumbles through the rubble and finds a vulture picking at the area, only to move closer and discover his fallen father. A tremendously performed and animated facial expression captures the weight of the moment as Noah shrinks into a ball beside the body. Moments later, he has buried his father. "Father, I will find them. I will bring them home," he says to the grave. A bird chirps to him and flies as if to guide him. He rides out on horseback, taking one last look at his destroyed village before leaving, spear in hand. A vast, overgrown skyline is shown to conclude the footage before an official teaser starts to play. Now, I'm assuming the trailer that plays after that is probably one of the trailers that we've already gotten, whether it's the Super Bowl trailer or the IMAX trailer we got a couple weeks ago. But if it was new stuff, I would assume they would actually describe it in this article, so most likely it was just something we've already seen before that they showed after this. As for my thoughts on everything they showed, again, a lot of this sounds similar to stuff we've already either seen or speculated about, just kind of expanded upon. This being the setup for the film and how the first act happens and the jumping point for our story, I think this falls very much in line with a lot of what we have assumed and what we've been speculating based on what we've seen in the trailers, how the village attack scene is going to be what sets Noah off on his journey. At one point I thought that was going to be in the middle of the movie, but seeing now that it takes place in the beginning, that actually makes a lot more sense. And one thing that really caught my attention is everything going on in the first scene with the eggs and the nest, them saying we have to leave one egg behind because that's the law. Something I'm really curious about with this movie, and one of the things that has me most excited, is learning about the ape culture and how it's evolved, what it exactly is, what are the laws, because we've heard multiple references to this is the law. We heard Noah talking about how apes hunt humans and that is the law. And now we're hearing about this and this is another law. So I'm really curious about what are all these new ape laws, what has been established in this world and why and how it all works. So that's got me really curious to learn more about that. And then as for the ape attack on the village, it seems very clear now that it is Proximus Caesar's clan that is going to be going after them. He is the one who is attacking Noah's village. Why he specifically targets Noah's village, I don't know. I'm sure we will find out as we get further into the movie, but the scene itself sounds very intense. It sounds very emotional, so that's got me really excited. And then as for Noah's father dying, I'm not hugely surprised by this. I figured maybe either one of his parents or someone close to him, maybe Raka or something. I assumed someone is going to die at some point in this movie, and having it be his father that is the one who falls at the beginning of this film, setting him off on the journey, makes the most sense. It falls very much in line with your traditional hero's journey type stories, that Joseph Campbell style of storytelling. So it's not super shocking, but I did want to put the spoiler warning at the beginning for those who did not want to know anything. So those are my general thoughts on everything we got from this footage. Again, this is only 13 minutes of footage. It's also just secondhand reactions. It's people that were there. It's not my own reaction, so I can only go off what they have to say and I can only go off the footage that's described, but it sounds really cool. It sounds like we're in for a treat, and I'm very excited to see this footage for myself when we finally get the movie in just a few weeks. We're going to start getting a lot more marketing. I'm going to try my best to cover all of it, or at least the biggest stuff. I'm not going to cover TV spots and every little thing, but when it comes to the final trailer and a couple other things like this, I will definitely be covering as we get closer to the movie. But those were the reactions to the CinemaCon footage for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, as well as the description of what was shown and my thoughts on all of it as well. What are your thoughts? What are your takeaways? Does this get you more excited? Do you not really care what other people have to say? Are you encouraged? Are you discouraged in any way? Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. So as always, thank you so much for checking out today's video here on Ape Nation. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all things apes. I'll catch you in the next one, so until then, goodbye.